So, you know how I told you we've had problems with that one condo next door? They're always fighting. We have to call the
Yeah.
cops. So my other neighbor that I've become friends with, she goes, are they moving? Because I haven't really seen their cars. Well, I just took the kids to school and there's a for sale sign on their place.
Oh, so they are out.
Yeah.
I wonder, were they renters or did they own and they're selling it?
So there was a weekend that I wasn't here. I wasn't here. And the following Monday, I got an email from the the homeowner president, saying that the unit on the other side had to call the police.
Okay.
So there's their unit, the fighting unit, and then my unit. So the unit on the other side of the fighting couple had to call the police. So the HOA guy was like, wrote the owner of that unit and was like, just so you know, Madden and the other guy both had to step in, and this is dangerous for everybody. And then next thing you know, they're out. So I wonder if the landlord said we're selling now.
Yeah, I mean everyone right now is selling because it's such a I hate to sound like a stock. It's such a hot market right now. It's a hot market. It's such a hot market.
To sell, but like it's not a buyer's market for sure.
No.
It's going for a lot more than what I paid for mine.
Yeah, I was thinking about because so I guess I just bought my house again.
Yeah.
I was thinking about listing it.
I bet when you bought your house 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, I bet that price increase went way up.
Yeah.
That's my biggest regret is having us sell that house. Could you imagine? Joe and I bought the house for like $210 or something. How much that house that we had with the pool and the huge play set, how much it would go for now? I bet he regrets it too.
That house would be up around $500,000
I don't want to ask
right now.
him. It was my idea to move, and I don't even want to get into that situation.
That house would be worth about $500,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. No, I know. But you know what though? I mean, but you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, it's just the guy that did the appraisal on my house when we did the refi said that there was only like 500 houses total available in like Stanislaus County for sale.
People who are trying to move up this way, one couple said that there were no houses, so they would just check, and then when one came available, they just bought it.
I was thinking about listing my house with no price.
Can you do that?
I think so. Why not?
I don't know.
I'm selling my house. I don't want to tell you how much I want to sell it for. You tell me. Right?
That would be funsies, right?
Yeah.
What you think my house is worth, brother?
Well, because when the guy came out and did the appraisal and he told me what my house was worth, I started laughing. And he goes, I said, my house is not worth that. And he goes, well, in this market it is. I'm like, no, I get that. But like, objectively speaking, when you stand back and you look at my house and how heavy-handed I am with things, my house is not worth this.
That's the thing, the heavy-handed part, because like we sold like 2 or 3 years after we bought it. And I thought for sure it wouldn't appraise. And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, there is nail polish in the carpet. Yeah.
The guy told me that right now, people from the Bay Area are coming in and they're buying houses and they're saying, I don't want an inspection. I don't want an appraisal. I want to waive it all. I just want to buy it cash.
Then the people who bought the house from us went to go redo the bathroom floor. And I guess the person before us used like plywood as subflooring. So they had to rip out the whole thing.
I just did that a couple of years ago.
Oh.
So, but that's because that's the thing is your house is probably the one you were in was built in the early 60s, right?
I don't remember, but I think so.
Because we're basically the same neighborhood. I know where you guys were. We're all part of that like Northgate, that part up there. And
we could have walked to your place easy peasy.
Yeah, and all of these houses were born. All of these houses were built between like 62 and 65. And so they didn't have that composite layer that you put over your subfloor before you do tile or anything.
And you and I both have that bonus room.
Yeah.
A lot of those houses don't have a bonus room, but whoever we bought our houses from like added on a bonus room.
Yeah, my bonus room has a very dark story behind it.
Oh, okay, then never mind. But ours had one. Ours just had one. And a pool.
We have if you've ever, because Madden's seen my house, I have this playroom that's like just one long wall of windows, And the dark story behind that is the people that originally owned the house, they were there start to finish, like from when they got married until they died. The husband, I guess, got dementia. So what they did was they built an extra room on to the house and they made it like a sunroom. And then they locked all the doors from the outside going in because he would wander. And so he would get put in the sunroom and then they would lock him in there, but he was happy in there. So he would stay in the sunroom all day long. So that's why I have a sunroom now. And then I guess he passed away in there.
I remember when my daughter locked me in the garage and she was only like 1 and she was crying and crying and crying. So I broke the door. And as soon as I broke the doorknob off, Joe got home and he was so mad at me. And I'm like, what were you going to do? He's like, come in the house and unlock it. And I'm like, I can't leave the baby in the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a trip. I'm looking around right now. You know, up until 2 days ago, if anything happened in this house, like even though we're separated and getting a divorce, if anything happened, like I could still be like, it's still your house too. You're gonna help me.
Yeah.
But now if anything breaks, it's like, ooh.
Well, yesterday, because I had my locks changed, so I put in a code. So the code unlocks the deadbolt. There is no lock on the bottom. It's like one of the push. There's no lock down there, but it was stuck. So thank goodness one of the kids were home to come downstairs and open the door and finagle the lock. And then I was like, well, what if the kids come home from school and I'm still at work? They can't get in. So I have to fix the door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get some electronic locks.
They're cool. So you punch in a code and it unlocks it. And then you shut the door. And if the door is unlocked within 30 seconds, it relocks itself.
No kidding.
It's good and bad because you know how long it takes the kids to just walk out a door. So by the time they're closing, it's all wham because the deadbolt's already sticking out.
I love how far we've come with technology. When I was running Burger Kings back in the day, when we were finished, we would take our $1 million stores and we would protect them by taking a big chain and just wrapping it around the door and putting a padlock and be like,
it's like a club.
I guess we're going home for the night.
It's like a club, but for the BK lounge. Remember the club you put on your car? Oh, like they can't just pull the steering wheel off and put a different steering wheel on it.
So you really me if I just saw a couple notches in here, we're good to go. Okay.
All right. Through my plastic steering wheel, this club will keep it together.
My grandfather-in-law used a club all the way up until he passed away, and I think my mom used a club or you either used or had one and stopped using one. But I've only seen people at least 20 years my senior use a club.
Yeah.
And I think
I go ahead.
I think that makes them feel good about it because people like that, like they like to hold and touch things. They're scared of the internet. You know, it's like that if I can't put a lock in it and lock it on my own, it's not going to work.
So like with the locks, like with the key lock, I've learned with the Jeep that even if you put your arm in, because you know with the Jeep, the windows are down and the top is off. So if I put my arm in and hit the unlock button, it won't unlock the doors. You still have to unlock it from the outside. And I think because the majority of the time the top is off. So like before we went 4-wheeling the other day, I get so frustrated with Layla at a gas station because she cannot decide who does she get it from. So we're on our way out and my buddy is like standing up against the Jeep while I'm inside, just standing up against it. And I come out and he's like, the doors are locked. And I'm like, well, the top is off, stupid, right? So then yesterday I go to the grocery store and the door's locked. So I just stuck my arm in and hit the unlock button. I'm like, oh, it stays locked. You need the keys.
Did you look at yourself in the mirror and go like, hey, the top is off, stupid. Idiot, just reach around. Come on.
So later in the evening, we're putting the top back up on my Jeep. The back, it's super heavy. And by the time we're back at his place and stuff, we've had a few drinks, you know, and he falls and he has video cameras. So he has video of this happening and he wants to see how he fell, which I think he sent me the video so that I admit that maybe it was my fault because maybe it was my fault. So he falls and I'm so, you know how sensitive I am. You hear me go, get up! And he's like holding the cheap top on the ground. I'm such an a-hole. And I'm like, oh, cool video. Didn't even comment on it.
Try and get it on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Of him falling on his bed and me going, get up!
Do you remember when we got my father-in-law on America's Funniest Home Videos?
Yeah.
The bar is not high. The bar is not high.
I don't know. That was a pretty funny video of your father-in-law.
It really was. Like,
His
face
pants
down.
fell.
You know what? I remember when we sent that in, because I asked them, I said, do you mind if I send it to America's Funniest Home Videos? They're like, it's not going to get on. I'm like, yeah, but let's just anyway, you know? And I remember when I sent it in, and I mean, months went by, and then I got a random call out of nowhere with, hey, this is Chad. I'm a producer with America's Funniest Home Videos. Want to get you on there. Get back to me ASAP. Like, you don't hear from him for months, and then there's like a hardcore press. Hey, now, we need to hear from you now. So
They're seeing Sarah's other videos better first.
Right. We then went through 7 months worth of better videos before they got the guy face down.
Like, Ma, you're cool. I guess I'll call you back.
That really hurts my feelings now that I think about it. That's probably what happened. I was probably the third or fourth option.
You know, those unintentionally hurt feelings. So I have this friend and neighbor who is very giving. She's also a lot smaller than me. She's very thin. And she bought a dress and she was like, hey girl, I bought this dress and it's just way too big on me. Do you want it? And I'm like, I'm going to try to not take offense to that because you're super skinny, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Kind of laughed it off. And she's like, it's just humongous. It's not going to fit me. And so finally I go, well, thanks for thinking it's going to fit me.
I was going to be like, I'm just swimming in here. It's like when you buy that house that's like 8 sizes too big. You're like, this is too much house for me. I don't even have kids.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I remember I bought a shirt from somebody. And it was before I lost some of the weight. And I bought a shirt from somebody. And when I met her to pick it up, it was an XL, right? And I never told her what size to get me. And she goes, well, I know when we first started hanging out a few years ago, you were more of a large and not an XL. But I was just, looking at your pictures, I thought maybe an XL was a better option. And I looked at her, I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I know. Yesterday, so we get beers from Dying Breed in Oakdale and Blaker and Series, right? And Blaker comes out and super nice guy. Like, I'm sure he didn't mean it the way he did. He's like, I also have a t-shirt. It's a large. And I'm like, do you think it's gonna fit or you don't think it's, I'm like, I would love it. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm not gonna ask him what he thought, like if he thought it was gonna fit or not.
I have a t-shirt. It's a large. Okay, buddy. I need you to think about your next 5 words very carefully.
Right?
Right?
I'm like, yeah, I love it.
In a world where we're told sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words hurt.
Yeah, and they do. And a lot of words don't usually hurt me because you and I have, with this career, have heard it all.
Yeah.
When it comes to my weight, man, it bugs me, bothers me because it's already bothering me. You played sports, right? Some sports.
Oh, yeah.
When you make an error, I'm harder on myself. Like, the coach don't need to come at me. The players, I'm already thinking it. I already know it. You don't have to say it.
But they're gonna.
They're gonna anyway.
Every time.
I know.
I think that's the part that gets me is when I get ahead of something, when I know that I've messed something up, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. And I say exactly what I did when I messed up. And then someone's like, yeah, so what you did there was, I know, I just told you.
I just said that.
Like, literally, I'm telling you everything you're telling me.
All right, you guys. Have a good weekend. Happy
real quick, before we go. I'm sorry. Before we go, we have to shout this out. Maggie Winans in Turlock. Congratulations. She won a $2,000 diamond necklace from Chick-fil-A Jewelers. She's giving it to her mom.
Oh, good.
That's a pretty strong gift to your mom. I'm trying to figure out what I'm getting my mom for Mother's Day. I have to work on Mother's Day. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it up there. So like I'm like trying to find like what I can have delivered to her, you know? And she gets a $2,000 diamond necklace.
I have to get Mom and Mount is the hardest.
Is she hard to buy for?
Yeah.
Can we not do gift cards?
Hard because then she's mad that you didn't think thoroughly for a gift card.
Okay. Growing up, did you get cash as gifts from people?
Only like graduations.
Okay.
Graduation or from like grandparents.
I never got cash, not even from grandparents. And I used to get really upset because I'd see all my friends getting cash, right? And I'd be like, but I want, and my mom would be like, yeah, but like your grandma got you a gift from the heart. And I'm like, grandma went to the dollar store and picked up the pencil organizer that she saw. That's not a gift from the heart. That was on sale.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, remind me next at my mom and dad's birthday because like they give me like this year they gave me like $41. So for like my dad's, I think I'm gonna give him like $62 or whatever, $65. Yeah. I'm gonna give him a card with like $67 in it. Be like, here you go.
But they're at an age where they're getting money that's like useful. Like $41 is super useful, but it goes quick. You know,
72. God, that's gonna be 72 this year. 71.
See, that extra 30 makes a difference. That's what they're doing. They're laying the groundwork. They want you to do that. When I turned 40, my mom gave me $41 bills. She was banking on the fact that I was going to know that she's going to be 72 in a few months.
I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, that's the part because you remember their age.
I remember. It's easy to remember my dad's because he was born in 50, so the math's easy.
Oh, that is. My sister was born in 70. She's 52. No,
I was born in 80, so the math is easy. You know?
Yeah, I was 78, so you have to do a little. You have to add 2 to like round it up.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We'll see you Monday.
Have a good weekend.